on April 16, 2025 is called to order. My name is Steve Penny. I chair the commission, and I'd like to welcome you to today's virtual meeting. This meeting is being conducted in a virtual format in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act as amended by Public Acts numbers 21-2 and 22-3, which authorize public agencies to conduct public meetings virtually. Commission members and staff are participating by WebEx. Members of the public can view the meeting live on Facebook Live at www.facebook.com/CTSEC. The meeting is also being recorded for on-demand viewing, will be available for at least 45 days. Because of the virtual format of this meeting, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the speaker's name and title at the outset of each occasion that such speaker participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. And with that said, I'll ask the commissioners and the interim executive director to introduce themselves at this time, please.
Commissioner Shannon Berquist.
Greg Pietzu, Commissioner.
Claire Kindle, interim executive director and general counsel.
Thank you very much. Are there any changes to be made to the agenda? And appearing, will proceed in the usual order. First is approval of the minutes of the meeting of April 2, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to be made to those minutes? None appearing, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved, Pietzu.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing, those in favor of approval of the minutes of April 2, 2025 will raise their hands and or say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing, the motion carries with 3 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item Roman numeral 3 on the agenda is report of the interim executive director on administrative issues. Executive director, please.
Good morning, Claire Kindle, interim executive director and general counsel. Couple of quick things. One, congratulations to Commissioner Asari, who I believe was approved this week by the General Assembly for appointment to this commission. And so, which is a great thing. We're fully have a full boat of commissioners. The 20th anniversary of the Citizens Election Program and the 50th anniversary of the operations of this commission is coming up this June. And so we are in active planning for the celebration, probably to take place either the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday after Memorial Day, depending on the governor's schedule. Jeff Garfield has been contacted and is enthusiastic and has 1,000 ideas of everything we should be doing as the former executive director of this agency. And so we're having fun planning it, and we will be keeping you informed as soon as we have a firm date and lining up who is speaking. Our esteemed chair has already agreed to give a speech. And I will MC, and then we will see who else is going to speak. I think it'll be a lot of fun. The other thing is that at our last meeting, we did a review of the operations of the commission and had a lot of stats, and I owe you a memo with all those stats that were talked about, but those stats are kind of a moving target. And those stats have changed. And what I would like to propose to the commissioners is that I provide you at the first meeting of every month a monthly report of where we stand with respect to audits, to enforcement, and to compliance, so that you have a quick snapshot on a monthly basis of where we are. And I would think that might be helpful for you to be able to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening within the agency and how we're moving things along. And so if that is something that is of interest, I would be delighted to do that and just basically give monthly statistics of where we are in the various operations of the agency. I think that might be helpful.
I think that's undoubtedly the case. Everyone agree? Okay.
Great. And we have a backlog in enforcement, and we're going to be working through a lot of old cases, and we are developing a priority list of important cases as well. And some of them are likely to be timed out. Some are older. Some are simply just hard issues. and we'll be presenting them to the you as the commissioners, and we'll be looking for your guidance and your ultimate decisions. But to work through this backlog, we are looking to get some summer associates from law students, and we've had some volunteers from retired attorneys who are happy to come and help. And so we are, I think, and since they're willing to help for free, I think we'd be foolish not to accept such help. And so, there's a process for having externs and interns in the agency, and we're hoping to utilize some interns and some externs to help sort of with the process of the agency, particularly with the backlog of enforcement cases. And there is a fairly scary docket of non-filers that we're going to need one of you to serve as the hearing officer for, and that we'll be presenting to you, I think, in May, and asking to set up sometime after that so we can work through the non-filer docket, which has been a little dormant for a while. So that's all we have at the moment, but I am happy to answer any questions.
Questions or comments for the executive director? All right, none appearing, we'll move on. There are no public session items on the agenda for today. So is there a motion to go into executive session?
So move Pietsu.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries, and we will go into executive session. Jonathan, let me know when we're ready. Next item is file number 2022-068, Attorney Smith.
For the record, Attorney William Smith for the Commission. In the matter of a referral by Avon Registrars of Voters Ann Clark and Mary Mazzucato in file number 2022-068 with regard to respondent Fernando Rodriguez, I'm asking at this time that the Commission appoint a hearing officer, and find reason to believe that a violation of 9-358 has occurred. Specifically, I'm asking that the commission adopt the following motion: that the commission has reason to believe that respondent in file number 2022-068 violated General Statute 9-358 when he provided and affirmed false information to register and vote at an election.
All right, any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2022-068, is the recommendation of council that the commission make a reason to believe finding and adopt the motion that he just read into the record. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzi.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. And the chair will appoint Commissioner Michael Agello to sit as the hearing officer in this matter. Item 8 on the agenda, file number 2024-011, Attorney Smith.
In this matter before you, there is a findings and, in this matter before you, there's a findings and conclusions dismissing the matter. And at this time, I'm asking that the commission make a motion adopting the dismissal of this matter.
Any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2024-011, it is the recommendation of council that the commission dismiss the matter. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzi.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion to dismiss will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 9 on the agenda is file number 2021-209, Attorney Smith.
For the record, Attorney William Smith. At this time, I'm offering the commission a notice of case closure in the referral of Stratford Registrar of Voters James L. Simon and Louis A. DeCilio and Stratford Town Clerk Susan M. Pollock. That was docketed as file number 2021-209. This notice of case closure, by way of background, comes after this matter was referred to the Office of Chief State's Attorney on or about November 14th, 2020, on or about April 4th, the Chief State's Attorney informed this office that they will not be pursuing this matter, and that while there was credible evidence provided by commission investigators regarding an election law violation, after working on this matter, the Office of Chief State's Attorney determined that based on the condition of the defendant, our respondent, and a capacity of reduced memory retention, that they're going to take no further action, that the commission is going to also decline to further expend resources regarding the matter in this instance, and therefore will administratively close the file.
Any questions or comments for council on this matter? None appearing. With respect to file number 2021-209, it is the recommendation of council that the commission adopt a notice of case closure. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzi.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 10 on the agenda, file number 2019-120, Attorney Smith.
This
This is continued.
2019
I'm sorry. Matters continued.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Item 11, file number 2024-136, Attorney Jaslowicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Zach Jaslowicki for the commission. This is 2024-136. The referring official, the registrar of voters for the town of Clinton, alleged at various times throughout the day of November 5th, 2024 general election that the respondent entered the polling place and surrounding areas with no legal purpose for being there in violation of General Statutes 9-236 A and C. On election day, the respondent entered the building to receive updated vote counts from the tabulators. Respondent did this by entering the room, which was serving as the polling place, and asking officials for this information. General Statute 9-236C, which covers the room in which the tabulators are located, is treated as a strict liability statute. Any incursion by an unauthorized individual is considered a violation of the provision, regardless of the character of the incursion. Based on the evidence, the respondent violated 9-236C as he was not casting his vote, nor was otherwise authorized to be in the polling place. When a respondent is a first-time offender and when the violation of 9-236 is not for the purpose of influencing or interfering with the process of voting, the Commission has generally declined to assess a civil penalty. We'd ask that the Commission adopt the consent order whereby respondent agrees to henceforth comply with 9-236.
All right, are there any questions or comments for council?
I just have a quick comment for the record. This case is a reminder that there is an unofficial checker procedure in the statutes to the extent that local parties or their supporters wish to engage in checking these sorts of things. There is a process to go through and a reminder to follow that procedure.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Pietzo. Anyone else wish to be heard on this item? None appearing. With respect to file number 2024-136, it is the recommendation of council that the Commission adopt a consent order that incorporates a henceforth order. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzo.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 12 on the agenda, file number 2024-057, Attorney Smith.
Thank you. For the record, Attorney William Smith for the Commission. Before you is a findings and conclusions dismissing in the matter of a complaint by Eric Weiner of Windsor, docketed as file number 2024-057. This findings and conclusions, which upon adoption will be published, is dismissing this matter based on the Commission's application of Title IX General Statutes and its determination that the respondent in this instance was not a lobbyist based on her earnings of less than $3,000. So at this time, I'm asking that based on these narrow facts and circumstances, that this matter is dismissed.
Any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2024-057 is the recommendation of council that based on his findings and conclusions, the matter be dismissed. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzo.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 13 on the agenda, file number 2024-041, Attorney Jaslowicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Zach Jaslowicki for the Commission. This is a findings and conclusions seeking a dismissal and involves Alexis Harrison, candidate for state rep of the 132nd District. Ms. Harrison was a co-founder. She and her treasurer were alleged to have made an impermissible coordinated expenditure. Ms. Harrison was a co-founder and member of the advocacy group CT 169 Strong. On May 6, 2024, this organization sent out a communication via email to its mailing list. The subject of the email reads, "Desegregate CT bill passed in the House, going to the Senate." The email is several pages long, the vast majority of which discuss the reasons to oppose House Bill 5390 and the actions that people can take, including sending petitions and contacting their state senators. One brief section of the communication mentions proponents of the bill, which includes the incumbent who would be Ms. Harrison's opponent at the November 5th, 2024 election. And another section of the email lists a photo of the vote tally of the bill and includes in bold letters, remember in November, this is the vote tally in the House, vote smart in 2024. So pursuant to 9-601B, any communication that refers to one or more clearly identified candidates and is broadcast by radio, television, or via the internet would be an expenditure. However, subsection B7 says that a communication described, which I just listed above, but if it's made prior to the 90-day period preceding the date of a primary or an election, and is made for the purpose of influencing any legislator or administrative action, or is made during a legislative session for the purpose of influencing legislative action, would not be considered an expenditure. So investigation revealed that this communication was made 183 days prior to the November election. It was also made during a legislative session. And while it does reference a potential candidate and the upcoming election, the overwhelming subject matter is regarding the contents of the bill and the legislative actions that can be taken. So as this communication was made prior to 90 days before an election and for the purpose of legislative action, Commission should determine that it does not qualify as an expenditure. And so we'd entertain a motion to dismiss this matter.
Any questions or comments for council? All right, none appearing. With respect to file number 2024-041, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed based on his findings and conclusions. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietro.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 14 on the agenda, file number 2023-115, Attorney Ross.
Thank you, Mrs. Commissioner. Staff Attorney Ross for the record. In a matter of a complaint by Mary Ann Stratton out of Windsor Locks, seat file 2023-115. Before the commission today is a findings and conclusions. The complaint involves an allegation that the polling place did not have privacy sleeves available and that a ballot clerk viewed the complainant spooled and fresh ballots during the November 7, 2023 election. The moderator at the time, who was Margaret Byrne, was named as a respondent in this particular matter. The findings and conclusions proposes that the complaint should be dismissed because the register of voters have affirmative duties as it relates to privacy sleeves pursuant to General Statutes Section 9-261B, and that the claims of the complainant cannot be sustained given that those claims are rebutted by contrary testimonial statements that the privacy sleeves were available for electors at the ballot clerk's table, and that the ballot clerk in this particular matter by the name of Stephen Hillary did not view the complainant's spoiled ballot provided by respondent Byrne and ballot clerk Stephen Hillary, and supported by the contemporaneous notes as detailed in the moderator's diary.
Right, any questions or comments for council? Then appearing, Commissioner Berquist, you are recusing yourself in this matter, are you not?
Yes.
Right. So with respect to file number 2023-115, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed on the basis of its findings and conclusions. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietro.
And it's moved and seconded by Commissioner Warlasari.
Yeah.
Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? 1 abstention. So there are 3 voting in favor, none opposed, 1 abstention, and the motion carries. All right, we're up to draft audit reports. Director Minier.
Thank you, Commissioner. For the record, Salman Munir, Director of Audit. Item number 1, Kim Becker for CT. Item number 2, Mitch for Newtown 2022. Item number 3, Short for State Rep 2022. Item number 4, Gilchrist 2024. Item number 5, Pizzuto 24. And item number 6, TAG 2024. I'm requesting the commission to make these draft reports final.
All right, it is the recommendation of Director Minier that the commission adopt a motion making final the audit reports in the 6 campaigns and campaign committees that he has just identified. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved, Pietzer.
Second, Berquist.
And seconded. Any discussion? None appearing, those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing, the motion carries. 4 in favor, none opposed, no abstentions, and the draft reports in those 6 items are approved accordingly. All right, is there a motion to go into executive session?
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes.
I may, I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. When I asked for the closure of file number 2024-011, I spoke in error. It is to be closed by a notice of case closure, not by a findings and conclusions.
Can we take due notice of that and govern ourselves accordingly? Thank you. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved, Pietzer.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? None appearing, the motion carries. We will go into executive session.